Welcome, ladies. Nah, it's Melvin. I forgot. I just did my intro from like 2 years ago. Hi, welcome to the stream. Oh my god. Welcome to the video. My name is Dychronic, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Destiny Weekly Reset for November 1st, 2022. Today is the last week of the Festival of the Lost. So if you want to get all the pages, you want to get more macabre or whatever it is, it's going to be the last week to do so before next year. And furthermore, we do have double infamy. So if you want to get, if you want to get double infamy for whatever reason, likely for a lot of the seasonal challenges, it's a great time to do it. Essentially, this is the time to play Gambit during the season. Once and be done with it. Keep in mind, you can play like 3 or 4 matches and get to like level 5 with Drifter and get most of the stuff you need. Moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at the Nightfall Ordeal. This week, it's going to be Exodus Crash, which if you don't know is one of those missions that many people don't like. But helpful tip, on a Grand Master in the boss fight area, you can hide behind one of those electrical bosses with the healing rifts that never end, and it's an easy fight. As far as 100k goes, you're probably best off with Legend. For the Strike playlist, we have Void Singe. For the Crucible playlist, we have Mayhem. For the King's Fall raid, we have Devious Thievery, taking place in the second encounter. And in this encounter, when you're doing DPS, you have to kill those extra yellow health knights to extend it. Essentially, you have to pick up the buff 5 seconds before you trade the buff with the dude. So it's one of those little timing things. One of those here called timing things. The rotating dungeon is going to be Prophecy, and the rotating raid is going to be Last Wish. Up next is take a look at Eververse's inventory. Likely the last chance to get Bright Dust options for the festival. Everything else is going to be silver. First up for the options, we have the Retrograde Tourer, which looks like a minivan. After that, we've got the Paracausal Starhorse mask, which was the mask that I was looking forward to if it would ever load. Hey, there you are. After that, we have a Ghost Projection, and we have a shader known as Flower Child. Now, this is a very bright shader. If only it loaded, yeah. And it looks like this. Wow, makes Quicksilver really like colorful. I'm just gonna get one of these. I'm just gonna get one of these. Moving on to the other Bright Dust section. Ignore that thing on the right. I didn't buy those. We've got the Ghostbusters Buster Ray, where you're just firing a Vex Mythic class, which is the Ghostbusters thing, obviously. We have the Hold Me multiplayer emote, where obviously you jump into somebody's arm, probably Scooby-Doo style, right? Yeah, that looks like a Scooby-Doo style thing. We have the Ghost Shell that looks like the Paper Spider, which is adorable. We have the Sparrow, which looks like the Star Horse, which is very weird. And it has a little purple out the back. Pew, pew, pew. If you want one of those. We have the Finch Mask Ornament. This is, again, wow, look at that. It is an ornament for the mask. Another opportunity to get one of these. We have the ornament for the Grand Overture, a weapon that I'm sure that everybody uses, right, all the time. Ghost Projection. We have a Transmit Effect, the Champion Entrance, which, like a champion. We have the Pill Entrance, which is sponsored by Dado. I'm sure you've heard of him. We have the Guiding Light, and a bunch of different shaders, including the Reanimated Verve, which I have now forgotten what Verve means, but I looked it up one of the previous times. Byzantium Lotus has a lot of little purple bits to it, very winey. Yeah, wine, like nice little shiny bits of purple and green. The Quicksilver colors in a lot of great ways, let me tell you. I wish we could color the exotics like that. Chalco's Finery. We also have the Mustard, Flavado Core. This is going to be the Mustard, so if you want to look like Colonel Mustard, it's eventually going to load. It looks like that. Again, wow, Quicksilver, you've got some nice color in it. And again, this is the last opportunity to buy any of the Halloween stuff for silver or Bright Dust. Again, a lot of these things will say silver, and some of them will even say Bright Dust, like these suits of armor, and a lot of the previous seasons are available as well. If you just scroll down over here, you can see the previous season items. I mean, that's a cool finisher. I know the Rocket Punch from I don't know where it's from, but I know the Rocket Punch. I've seen it before. Up next, let's take a look at Gunsmith's inventory. First up, we have a Staccato, which is Dragonfly Compulsive Reloader. I believe this can have explosive payload, so you definitely want to see that. Other than that, probably some handling and range. After that, we have the which also has Headstone, and I would recommend Headstone because Headstone is definitely one of my favorite things to have on most weapons, and this one has it. After that, the Snorri FR5, which seems to be doing pretty well in Crucible. It's precision frame, although precisions did get nerfed, I think, a few updates ago. And honestly, this roll is actually pretty good. You have the increased impact, you have the accelerated coils, extended range, surplus, but I'm not so sure about Wellspring. After that, we have a Funnel Web with a Perpetual Frenzy, and I think Perpetual Frenzy, if it has some range stuff, I actually, you know what? This is a pretty damn good roll. Perpetual and Frenzy, Accurize, Hammer Forge. The only thing missing here is a range masterwork. This is probably one of the best versions of this weapon you could possibly get, and you should definitely pick one up, because that's pretty darn good. After that, Palindrome B, a craftable weapon that does have auto-loading on it with Frenzy, no impact casing, can have explosive light, definitely better options. And finally, the Taipan FR4. Clown Cartridge Focus Fury is not bad. Actually, it's a pretty decent roll. However, it can get firing line, which is usually better, but Focus Fury, if you don't have a good one, plus Clown Cartridge is a pretty good combination. And of course, a big shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Specifically, big thank you to Mom, Dad, Monday, Sue Boxing, June Panther, Casey Reagan, and Marcus Glover for their support on Patreon. And that's it. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name's Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.